Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
What's
Cheers.
up, Jeremy? We got some special guests. I'm really excited. Like beyond
Yes, sir.
excited. We got the Sevanian group here with us today. Mr. David Sevanian himself and his partner Brooklyn Karras. And every Friday we are doing an agent spotlight. And when we initially thought about doing this, as I told Dave and Brooklyn that they were the first people that popped in my mind,
Right.
just because of one, the business that they're doing, and two, they're just really amazing people. And so, they came on board with us from Realty Executives, like as soon as kind of COVID hit. And
1
so
week before.
Yeah, 1 week before. And we actually, and a lot of the agents haven't been able to really meet Dave and Brooklyn, and they're just like really cool people. So, and they've been in this business for a long time, Dave. Been doing it for what, 20 years? 20 years, yeah. Brooklyn, a little less than that, but a little bit.
Going on five.
But they're high-level agents, high-level thinkers, just amazing people. And I'm so happy that you are our first guest for our agent spotlight. And
Pleasure.
yeah, I just want to get into it. I just want to ask you, so you came over. How was that transition moving from companies? Because you were with Realty Executive for 20 years.
Right. It was tough. I'll be quite honest. Brooklyn really was the fire under my butt to finalize the decision, because we had been talking about it for a while. And, I had been with Realty Executives for 20 out of my 21 years. Wow. I was with the boutique brokerage when I started in this business at 21 years old. And then, I left that company at about a year and a half with that company. Year and a half, I took off to go to RE/MAX, as I was kind of alluding to you earlier in our conversation. My mentor in the business, who I had started with at that boutique company, was going to basically just dissolve what he had with that company and go back to executives. And he just asked me to go interview and talk with them before I made a final decision, which I heeded his advice, as my mentor. So I said, you know what, I'll definitely go meet these people. And I really did like them. And at the time, 20 years ago, they were a very preeminent force in this valley in terms of the real estate presence. And, both RE/MAX, they were both kind of the two big hitters. And anyway, long story short, I made that decision and I went with Garo, and actually Stephanie came along, and that's where we were. And for the past 20 years, that's where I've been doing my business and hanging my hat. But a lot of change, a lot of things happened. And, even before the COVID hit, it was really a decision that I knew needed to happen, but it was a little bit of procrastination and loyalty, because I've been with this company for 20 years and
Totally.
I'm a lot of the people. But once I met with you, and once we had talked more about it, and Brooklyn got to meet you, and we really started to see the culture and the technology and what you guys have, it was a no-brainer. It just needed to happen. And so we pulled that trigger and we made that move. And unfortunately, COVID hit a week later, and we're all transitioning. Yeah. I'm grateful, because as much as March and April were difficult months, and we're still dealing with, obstacles, we're busy. We're a lot of business right now. We got a lot more coming down the pipeline, and we're grateful, and we're
Awesome.
just and optimistic, and, reaching out and touching people and really just creating conversations, which, as you guys know, that can just lead to all kinds of things, ancillary things. Marcelo, as an example, one of our team members, he's not on the call right now, but he literally took a Zillow call that I gave him, went out and showed property, had a question regarding the land. He called his buddy, who's a city engineer who he hadn't talked to in a while. Would have never called this buddy who he hadn't talked to in a while had he not had a question regarding this land. He called his buddy. We started talking real estate about this. His buddy said, my sister's looking to sell her house. Her house is $1 million.
I love it.
That's how things can just manifest.
Yeah, that's the nature of the business, right? Like, that's how this works.
Yeah. You put
Business
yourself
gets
in
business.
the right situation. Sorry.
Hey,
go ahead,
before
Jeremy.
Dave, I know Dave's going to jump off. And so I think it's really important, because what we talk about a lot, Dave, and this even show that, that DJ and I have started producing came out of the pivot of COVID, right? How do we get agents? How do we talk shop? So I'd love to hear what you and Brooklyn have done. Obviously the transition was tough, right? And then we're thrust into this situation. We all were. But what have you guys done and kept doing? Get to see your business from the inside. Yeah. A lot of the agents on the outside don't get to. So that's another reason why when DJ said, hey, let's get the Sevanian group on, I'm like, heck yeah, because you guys are crushing it. So what have you done through this COVID time that is keeping you guys going, keeping you active, and getting you the business? And I open that to Brooklyn as well.
Yeah, I'll give a quick answer, and then Brooklyn can kind of cap that off. But I mean, for us, it's really been staying positive, keeping that synergy going. You know, talking each day, being together as we normally should be anyway. But even more so now, synergy, teamwork, that tribal togetherness is helping get through. But the main thing I think that I've been doing is just doing a lot more, just getting back to the basics, but just reaching out to people to see, how are you? How can we help? Do you have questions? What can I, my acumen, how can I lend that to helping your life, your transitions? And if you have those conversations with people, the business will just automatically appear if there's business to have had. You know, if they need to do something and you open that conversation from a standpoint of help and just wanting to converse and share ideas, because we're all in an unprecedented time, there's a lot of discussion that needs to happen. And when you start having those discussions, light bulbs start going off and people realize money is cheaper than it's ever been. And even though prices are at a high point, let's look at what your payment is. And people are looking at it, and it's a no-brainer, especially getting people into the market that are renting, that are spending $2,000, $3,000 a month, and they can actually get in. And even though prices have, are up there a bit, that money is so cheap, it's just offsetting it and making it an absolute no-brainer. So I think it's just reaching out, having a lot of conversations. Another thing that I think is really big and that is going to be a continuously more important factor into how we do business is transitioning to the digital online of what we're doing. I'm upping my investment dollars with Zillow and those online platforms, because more and more people are going to be going there and utilizing that as a starting point. And with now home becoming an even more important sanctuary, because we're all going to be spending more time at home, I think that's resonating with people and making people really want to look at that situation and make their decisions and really go, So, Brooklyn?
Yeah, for me, it's been really reaching out, and everybody I kind of know how they're doing, just kind of like Dave was saying, and just having those conversations. And I think the biggest thing is also just educating on, where the interest rates are and the value, like, we were talking about, is renting versus buying. And if you can get in right now, money it's so cheap right now with interest rates. So just really educating in that aspect and showing people that they can do this, and just putting that blueprint together and just really kind of laying it out for them has been a huge help. And, just having conversations and talking to people, it's hard right now because we're in quarantine, and you get very isolated, and you staying positive all the time was hard. So talking with Dave and picking up the phone and just saying, how are you? In just like a really genuine way. And then that just would just kind of compound and lead to business, which has been great. So yeah, that's kind of where my business has been kind of just snowballing that way.
And it has compounded for the Sevanian group tremendously. I know you've closed, I believe, 6 deals. It was it's been 6 deals in 5 weeks. So the end of May, the deal, and then 5 in June. And then you have, I think, 5 or 6 in escrow right now?
Yeah, we just closed 2 in July, and then, beginning of the month here about a week ago. And then we've got 5 more in escrow right now. And pretty much we're going to have 6 probably in escrow here in the next day or two, because Brooklyn's got a great listing in Canyon Country. Yeah. We've got 6 offers to present later.
That's awesome. And then you're going to go get another listing right now.
Know that.
Yeah. And so, you guys are doing a tremendous job. And, I know I'm very happy and proud to be in business with you. I know Jeremy feels the same. We wanted to bring you on here you guys are having the success. And it sounds like you're just simply educating your clients and picking up the phone and saying, how are you doing? And hey, funny enough, business starts coming your way, right?
I think this business can be overthought, and a lot of people overthink it. And when you get back to the basics, it's about relationships, connections, communication, caring, and connecting that to people. And if you stay in touch with people and they just know what you do and you're good at it, you're going to get opportunities, and you're going to have those opportunities to seize.
I love it. No, wow. You put it a great way.
Very, very well said. I like also what you started with was making sure that the group, the mindset was there, that we're staying positive and that we're feeding each other. When Brooklyn's feeling down or isolated, she can call you, and vice versa, where I think that's a huge thing. And I literally wrote, I'm a note taker, I'm a journaler. So when you started talking, both of you, these are the things that I wrote. I wrote, build your tribe, care, contribute, and educate. Conversations lead to contracts. Money is so cheap right now. And home is more important than ever.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
You guys hit like 6 points that, I get the chills talking about it because, fantastic. It just goes to show why you guys are doing so well. And I think it's important, we get caught up in success by the number of closings and the volume because we're paid on volume, right? Like we all want to make money. We all want to build this life. But listening to you here today, I hope the people that get to see this, what they gain from this is something much more simpler than that. And that is build your tribe, support one another, stay positive, and care, contribute, and educate. And man, that's just fantastic. You guys are truly amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much. Really.
Hey, we appreciate it. And thank you for being our first guest on our Agent Spotlight this week.
Agent Spotlight, baby. Yes.
Couldn't pick anybody else better.
Congrats to you guys.
Yeah, congrats on your success. And, we're excited to be on this journey with y'all. And now, Dave, go get that freaking $1 million listing right now, all right?
Right now, we're gonna go grab it up.
All right, guys. Cheers. Thank you so much.
Cheers,
Have a great day,
guys.
guys. Cheers.